truck driver discovered strange cargo after an accident, not knowing the troubles it would bring. Luke, a truck driver, had an accident while trying to avoid hitting the deer. The crash caused all the cargo to spill out. The road was now covered with strange blue and white balls, which confused Luke. He didn't know what he was transporting. As Luke was inspecting the cargo, a black SUV with tinted windows approached. Men in dark suits got out and surrounded Luke without explaining anything. One man claimed they were police officers, showed a badge, and told Luke to leave the area because it wasn't safe. Feeling confused, Luke called his friend Stephen, who came to get him. When Stephen arrived, Luke secretly took one of the blue and white balls with him. Then he and Stephen left quickly, curious about what was inside the mysterious ball. Once at home, Luke placed the ball on the kitchen counter and used a knife to cut it open. What he saw inside shocked him. There were syringes and pills inside the blue and white ball. Luke and Stephen were both shocked and confused, unsure of what they had discovered. Stephen suggested they call the police, but Luke hesitated. He suspected that the men who had appeared at the crash, claiming to be police officers, might be involved in something illegal. Then, Luke remembered the transport papers he had signed earlier that morning. He quickly checked the papers and found the delivery address. Believing it might give them answers, Luke and Stephen decided to investigate. They drove back to the crash site, which had already been cleaned up, and continued to the address listed on the papers. They soon arrived at an old warehouse and saw Luke's truck parked outside. The same men in dark suits were there, unloading the blue and white balls. Luke, wanting to gather evidence, started taking pictures of the scene. Unfortunately, he accidentally made noise, which alerted the men. They quickly caught Luke and Stephen, dragging them into the warehouse. Once inside, they were seated in chairs, and after a short time, a man in a white lab coat entered the room. He introduced himself as Dr. Larson and calmly asked why Luke had taken one of the balls. Luke, realizing there was no point in hiding the truth, explained everything. Dr. Larson then revealed that the syringes and pills were not illegal, but rather key ingredients for developing new medicines. The government was running a secret operation to create life-saving drugs, and the balls were disguised to look like toys to protect the valuable contents from theft. Each ball was worth over $1 million. Dr. Larson, impressed by Luke's skills, offered him a job as an official transporter for the operation. Luke, a self-employed truck driver, accepted the offer and left his old jobs behind. From that day, he began working for the government, transporting crucial medical supplies across the country.